a beautiful day. Are we live now? I think we're live now. It is a beautiful morning. It is a beautiful day, and I want to check in. We're at 3,000 followers. Wow. That's wild. 3,000 followers in 2 months' time. No, 3 months' time. 3 months' time. I have to double check that. I did several channels and I threw practice reps at them. You can do this too, especially if you're a truth teller or a follower of the truth. There should be a truth teller, right? I make that transition from learning to teaching, because you learn better when you teach. To teach it is to know it a little bit better. This is why in my new system of academia, which is coming soon, and another pamphlet, just like complete optimization to a place near you. So a lot of people have a hard time believing things they don't see, or do they? Because that type of person who has a hard time with faith, let's say, they seem to believe quite a many things that they haven't seen, actually. I've noticed this. You know, it's either faith in God or faith in the news. Right? Blue. More. Oh no, it's either you're crazy or, you know what? I'm starting to think there is a God. I'm starting to think some of the news maybe even is satanic, or at least describing satanic things. My picture. Almost. So, you know, a lot of video reps that I've done in my own practice doing these videos, I can't say that they were the best reps, but what practice reps in the beginning of a gym career are the best reps? Which? Whose? No one's, right? Not to have those reps used against you. Now, what gym buff would do that? Believe it or not, there's plenty of gym buffs out there that would do that. Can we call Candace Owens a big gym buff? Because she's calling people out for things that they said in the past. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And you know, I've got a whole bunch of gym reps in the past where I've said some vulgar things, maybe. You know, even a couple just yesterday or the day before's live, right? I've said some vulgar things. And they will be used against me, there's no doubt about it. And I stand by them. When they get used against me, I'll be like, yeah, it's fucking really interesting how I have the same thing to say right now. You know, there's going to be good things to say and there's going to be bad things to say. And will you please take those perfect people far, far away? Because those ones are the worst. Those ones who have to cover what they're doing wrong, it's because it's so wrong. That's why they have to cover it. You know? I just recently joined this group because my friend asked me to join it with them, you know, and we've joined a few other little of these brotherhoods online, and what's crazy is I joined one with this guy that I knew personally around here for $1, and I was involved with it for a minute, and I hit him up a couple times, and they, yeah, dude, what's up, because he's right around here, you know, and I've got these excellent supplements. I don't know where they are at the moment. I got these excellent supplements that I'm working with. I mean, our ashwagandha is fucking powerful. I woke up this morning with a, you know, powerful source, great stuff. You know, I've been having excellent gym performance. And that's what I wanted to tell him. Is like, yeah, my little group here is actually putting together some really, really great. Probably if it was peptides, fake ass would have been interested in it. You know what I'm saying? But because it was all natural stuff, Why would I believe in that? Let me go listen to the news. You know what I'm saying? So there's a very interesting analytics all the way across, and I told them, hey, look, okay, so look, well, maybe I'll stop by. Let's meet up at the gym. Whatever, I'm in town. I'm around town. Dude never responds to me. I'm leaving your little bullshit brotherhood thing for $1 a month. Then on the way out, there's a video that stops you in the school platform. Before you leave, and I'm just, man, I'm not even listening. You know, once a real person detects fake, and this is a very important process in life that you would want to recognize, because when you see a real dude get fed up with fake people, you don't need to go through that process again. He doesn't need to say anything to you either. He doesn't need to turn to you and be like, yeah, F those people, this and this and this and this and this, and he shouldn't, right? Because we're not gossipers. We're not venters, we're not gossipers. We're brothers, so do it when you need to do it. I'm not saying that I'm not here for you, but what I'm saying is the least crying in baseball, the better the game, you know? Tom Hanks, turns out, was child molester. He was even meaner than me. He says, no crying in baseball. Right? So, and there isn't. And we need to stay strong. And we came here to get strong. All challenges, opportunities to build strength. We came here to get strong enough to navigate and marry the truth. And any weakness, version of weakness, degree of weakness that does not meet that base level achievement of being true, telling the truth, doing the right thing. And that's not easy. This is hard stuff. We go to the gym every day. We do things we don't want to do every day. As Eleanor Roosevelt says, we do something that scares us every day because we're fearless. We're fearless. We do not let fear guide us, because if fear guides us, the control freaks have already won. You know? And the worst thing that can happen to you is you become a control freak too. And they want that. Oh, believe me, dude, they want that. The control freaks in the top feed off the fact that there are tools that became control freaks down below. And they use manipulation and deception and grandiose ill positioning. I mouth service myself into captainhood. No, where's the captains are made out of merit where I come from. You did something, and then everybody said, all right, that guy gets a promotion. You know, and if you weren't given a promotion off that inside of that type of a culture, you might have the title, but you wouldn't. Nobody's really gonna, you know, real is real is real is real is real. Here, if I can get you to accept a fake, if I can get you to accept mouth service, if I can get you to accept dynasties and imperialisms, and well, whoever got you to accept that is likely laughing at you from the top. Really, truly, they're laughing at you from the top. And that's unfortunate. And what I really want to, this morning, let me go ahead, since I've already mentioned Candace Owens. And I mean, imagine that there was a Candace Owens for the Kennedy assassination. And it was just, no, this is fucking, what she's doing. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. This was what we know now. Right? It was an assassination by our own, so we could continue being in war. So we could continue being in currency issuing by us mode, instead of America coming out with its own currency. Which by the way, would have probably caused the world to be much more globally prosperous today, right? And definitely less conflictive. But what if I told you they want murder? What if I told you they want conflict? What if I told you they want war? Now it all makes sense. What if I told you they want population control? What if I told you that if you don't do what you need to do and you took one of these, you probably don't have too many years, like a lot, you may have a lot less of a life in you than you think. There may be some way to activate, there's, from what I'm told by some people who seem to know some stuff down here, that we're connected career-wise to some of what's going on, and have escaped that, and come down here to live in the mountains peacefully and be left the fuck alone. They say that there's going to be some sort of activator come 2029, so people really need to take that seriously. They need to exercise. They need to step it up in every single way. They've got something internal that they've got to fight. They've got their internal evil and this internal nanochemical technology, something. Anyone who's been deceived in any way, you can almost say has that kind of deceptive nanotechnology in them, because this is going to grow and continuously lead them in the wrong direction, because they didn't churn, they didn't do the work, they didn't have an interest in the truth, because they took the light and they said, I am an officer of this, I am an official of this. If anyone says the truth about me against my lie, which I believe is true, and all of you have decided for whatever weird reason, because I am this way, I have decided that you imbeciles don't know what you're talking about, and I do, and yeah, and there's so many people like that. It's like, oh, did you do the work? Just remember this, going forward now, whatever decisions you've made about this, that, and the other, going forward now, you're not going to think or talk or decide your way out of, you might, in certain cases, your way out of problems. You're going to work your way. Those thinks, decides, and all that stuff will come, if they come out of the work and not just the entitlement. If they come out of investigation, if they come out of, ooh, somebody's making, smells quite good. Popcorn. Must be probably gonna caramelize some popcorn and take it somewhere for some wonderful Tuesday event. So I just, this morning we're really in this chaotic world. And I want to just say that for us, doing our part is as simple as doing the right thing, working for truth, churning for truth. Whenever you're lied to, that's not your puzzle piece. Don't build your image with puzzle pieces like that, because it builds a different image. It's Satan at the top of that image. The prince of deception would love to get all these little princes and princesses deception that he has gotten everywhere. He would love to keep them going. Who would love for them to prevail. Who would love for the group of deceivers out here in the world to continue doing such an excellent job and being so successful. You, being some sort of truth teller, being connected to some sort of truth-telling wizard up on the mountains who's communicating through the technology that's supposed to use to enslave, what the fuck? You're the enemy. You're the enemy of the deceivers. And they will hate you for telling the truth. And you will have to be ready to not give a fuck what they think about you. You will have to be ready for that. And not many people who are. So many people, at the very least, don't do 1,000 things because of what everybody thinks about that. They won't do something because it's unapproved by the neighbors. Man, I will extra do it now if it's unapproved by the neighbors, but it's the right thing to do. I will be the extra one to do that. People will be like, whoa, and sometimes it will take them weeks, months, or years to figure out that that was the right thing, and then they're like, and no one had the balls. And he didn't care what anyone said, because I'll use Snake, what's up, bro? Raul, Monday, AK, ET, AR, Patrick Mitchell, all the guys, Richard, Bo, Jared, Kim, Ed. Shit, we got a new one. What's up, Knuckles? Aranya. Lost another one from the older generation. Yeah, I watch, I care. I don't care how many little bitch ass haters want to talk shit. That know I'm tougher than all of them put together anyway in that conversation. As they speak it. And we should be individuals. Anyone who doesn't want you to be your individual self, and if your individual self, they might be supportive of whatever you choose, but if you're choosing some dispensation from dumbass land, from demonic world, probably, there's so many of those. I'm thinking the saggy pants, clown uniform thing, probably one of them. We all know about 500 girlfriends with 500 different things going on. Forget all of that. Assume the uniform that applies to the mission. Not that applies to your fashion show. What the fuck is that? Fashion shit. Fashion show. Let me show you. Bodybuilding. Fucking bikinis on stages. There's such more intellectually, spiritually better. Spiritually sounds substantaneous. Nothing against the superficial world of non-spirituality. And I'm sorry to victims of this, blah 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 blah. But when I hear the Epstein interviews and stuff like this, I'm sorry for these victims. And the situation is certainly very, very, very interesting. And the fucking islands and all this different stuff that's going on. But one thing, however, for us to learn from this whole situation, when you're in the superficial arts, let's just say, right, the pleasure system, the visual pleasure, the candy system, and you get tossed like a candy or a wrapper, and you have that kind of the wrapper of a candy, right? If you have that type of experience, you're gonna need to really take responsibility for the fact that you were in a segment of society to begin with that's full of that stuff. And if you didn't put your Jedi training to the test, sorry. I guess you should have a little more. You know what I mean? There's lots of risks in all these different escapades. Every time I get on the Demon Slayer, I say a prayer. And when I ride through to crazy, uneducated ranks of traffic, or whatever, you know what I mean? The potentially energy. Because this is people too. And it's just like, man, down here, the not motorcycle culture, you know, up in the States, you got the bandidos and the Hells Angels and shit that will start shit with you if you're being unsafe around motorcycles. Here, you know, and I got people up there and down here hoping that I die, trying to fucking knock me off balance at the very least with, you know, who knows, right? You know, we're in a dangerous world. So what I'm saying is, as I'm riding, I'm very watching every single thing. If I see a stupid driver, I see him from a mile away and I stay fucking keep my distance, you know? And this is the ninja moves that you must have in all aspects of life. All right, I know today was just kind of some locker room talk, some morning mush, really. But I hope I've gotten, you know, really what I want to say is us in this group, we do things very carefully, very prayerfully, very consciously. We train the rest of the time, flow state to flow state. We are trained up, man. We're ready for whatever, whenever. We're the strongest team, and we put so much work in to do that, and we deserve to be judged by this other guy who's put in all these different work. And hopefully, you know, and we deserve to judge, and we need to make, at that point, thou shalt not judge in a bad way, right? But in a good way, we should be keeping each other, iron sharpens iron. If you're constantly hearing advice from your iron brothers, take it, all right? This morning's advice is no crying in baseball. I have to tell people around me constantly, dude, don't cry. That's it. I'm not gonna tell you again. Stop the fucking crybaby bullshit. There's no complaining. There's no crying. All challenges are opportunities to build strength. All you can do is smile and take them on that way, or fucking go cry to someone else. This is the Tough Guy Club. You know what I mean? This is mental toughness, tough guy club here at Psychoschematics. We're actually in the process of dream catching, of weeding out the BS. That's all that we are doing. That is the main process, man. The main process is churning for purity. Let me restate that. Churning for purity, investigation for truth, making sure that you are completely responsible for everything that you do, and that it is for the truth. It is for true people. It is for that highest, sharpest spirit tip that is actually going to punch through. Not many will. I use the analogy all the time. You already know what it took for you to get here with all the little sperms trying to get to the egg. Well, what do you think's happening right now? Not everybody's gonna get to the next level, man. This is a dream catcher process, this whole thing. You will see what it is when you live true enough for long enough. And that means exiting, matrix jumping, whatever, out of this deceptive distraction that wants you to become it. It's a virus spreading. And the cancer is recruiting cells left and right. Are you going to be one of them? Or would you have the strength to resist even though it's surrounding you? Now that's a diamond in a coal vein. It can't be. And I pray this beautiful morning, this excellent opportunity to build strength this day, that you remain strong, remain true, do what it takes to be ready for whatever, whenever. Get to a spirit tip like this and really live a life on the edge. With the wind blowing fast and the lights coming hard and the demons everywhere. But you're the truest thing that ever did live, and you're smacking them down 50 a second. And I pray these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Thank you, sir. We love you, oh Lord. And we will do everything that we possibly can to serve you and the truth with our language of actions throughout today. Because that's the realest way. Let's go.